Hi everybody, this is Gifty from Baller Mom. I just posted quickly, short, and simple to come here quickly live and welcome everybody into a new month of September. Sadly, the weather is telling us that summer is almost over, so hopefully everybody had a good summer. It may seem short, but you know what? We're out of the lockdown. I know COVID is still around, but we had a really good break of not being locked down. So hopefully everybody had a good summer break. Great weather here in Toronto. Great weather here across the province and the country, I'm sure of. Want to say hello to all the people that are joining in. Hi, Unity Sports. Hi, VCB. Hi, Ish10 Sam. Hopefully I'm saying all of your names right. So this is my way. Typically every September I treat it. Hi, Vala Mom. Thank you, VCB. Every September I treat it like like my January, because we're getting back to school, we're preparing kids, we're setting our schedule together and everything like that. And sometimes I will post, just a picture of me with a long message as to who I am, what I do, and I think it's enough. I'm trying not to be too much in the phase. My whole goal is to provide you guys a lot of information and resources and connect you with the individuals that are able to help us and our kids continue to do what they love to do. So if anybody has any questions here, go ahead and ask. But my purpose of coming here today is to say sadly goodbye to summer, but fall is coming, and with fall coming in, it means that our seasons are about to start. We're going to have more set schedule. There's going to be a consistency in tournaments, practices, training, school, possibly in where we are. School sports will begin as well, and the kids can continue to do both on that side. And as well, wanted to give you a preview of my Baller Mom feature series, which I'm going into season 5. High five. Okay, high five. Great. Awesome. I have a couple of really great individuals that I'm going to be featuring. I'm going to have open conversations with them. I'm going to be asking the questions that we're all thinking about, who you are, what do you do, how can you help me and my children to continue to do what they're doing, what validates you to do this, how long you've been doing it, how do we contact with you, how much does it cost, where do you practice, how often do you practice, where does my prices go? What's the benefit of it? How do you try? All these questions. Trust me, I have more questions. But all these individuals are going to come on are expert in their field. Most of them have long-term experience and knowledge in what they do. And I'm excited to share a lot of it with you guys. It's going to be different topics from finance, how we'll be able to manage and budget ourselves. Because brace yourself, there is something called COVID price, and I don't think it's going to go away. We have taxes, but there's COVID price, and everybody's prices has gone up. So which means we're also going to be paying more. If you already didn't feel it during the summer, you're going to probably feel it more during the fall season. So how we can go about to, be accountable or mindful of where these fees are and how to manage it, especially if you have more than one kid like I do here. Also, education aspect of it. Where does this all come in? Everybody's always talking about athletics. But how do we do with education? How do we support it? How do you actually validate and get the support that they need? Looking at their report card, can they reach out to the teacher? How do you communicate with your teacher if your child is still in sports? Anything like that, like tips and guides to be able to help us do that. So that's what I will be sharing a lot more as we go into this season. Another point I wanted to do is continue to build that community. There's a lot of parents that I know have shared so many thoughts and questions and concerns all the time, and I feel that there's so many different people at different areas of this journey that if we can combine together can definitely help each other out. For exactly like what I know, I share. And if I don't know, I'll find a way to be able to get that resources and information to help you. So I want to continue to build that unity and community to be able for us to share and support each other, so that if you have that info, you don't hold on to it, because what you've gone through, somebody else may just be starting or about to, and sharing that knowledge helps. Again, hi, Mr. Todd, and happy belated birthday as well. Another point I wanted to bring out is I've been doing this Let's Talk About It series, and I brought different topics. For instance, entrance fees or spectator fees. A lot of people share their process and knowledge and things about it as to how they feel about it. I want to bring more topics like that, and for us to discuss whether openly or you can send it privately, and for us to talk about it, because these are things that us sitting on the sideline or off the bench or whatever, it's a concern. And maybe the organizers, owners, trainers might know it, but they don't know it. And how we can all combine and be able to find a solution, or just agree to disagree and just, safely move on. So I'll be bringing a lot of those type of discussion topics to come in and have it more open for us. Don't think a parent should have an entrance fee if they keep score. Trust me, I agree. I will do a version 2 on that entrance fee, because like I said earlier, fees are definitely going to go up. So brace yourself. Prices are going to go up. And if you're going to find out where it goes, majority are going to tell you uniform, coach's fee, travel, backpacks, shoes, I don't know. All these different things are going to be added in it. So unless you make a certain amount of money, everyone's just find a second job or something, or reassess it with your child where the needs are. But just brace yourself. Prices are definitely going up for monthly fees and overall yearly fee. And just so you know, a lot of the clubs also have to increase it for maintenance purposes to keep their business going. And that's another key point. When you're joining a club, know that it's also a business. Some may say non-profit, but it's still a business, and they have to profit. They have to continue, surviving and serving the community that they do. So it's not always just about one individual person and their child. So that's something to be aware of, especially for the ones that are transitioning from house league into competitive side of it. And those who are looking for different teams or looking to stay in the same team, whatever the situation is, just what I always say, and most of my parents I'll probably watch later say, is just sit with your child and find out exactly where, how they feel, what they want. It's not always what we want. We have to often include them in it and make it a family decision. And at the end, of course, we're parents. We're going to make the best decision that's for them, but be sure that we include them in there too, because in the end, it's them that's on the court. It's them that's doing the training. It's them that's growing. It's them that's loving the sport. And literally, I'm on the sideline just cheering, screaming, and losing my voice at every single game as much as I can. So I wrote these down just so I don't mumble on, because sometimes I do tend to talk a lot. Another point I wanted to bring out is bring more of these guides and tips. I've been told that these are very helpful. And mind you, some of them may come from me based on my experience, but a lot of it is also based on others I've shared, and also based on research, and also talking to different coaches, organizers, trainers, and their perspectives. So these are not just picked out of the hat of nowhere and say do this. And by no means am I trying to dictate how anybody should be. Everybody's journey is different, unique, special, and it's needed. Every child is worth it. Every parent's family is worth it. Like, nobody should be suffering and, wondering where they belong or anything like that, or feel like you're doing this alone. Like I said, I'm trying to build this community that you don't have to feel alone, especially for those who are starting, or those in the middle, and those whose kids are just towards the end and they're not sure exactly what the next paths are, because you've been in that world for so long, and now they're like 20, 21, and all the clubs sort of stop there. And it's like, what do I do? They're an adult, but they still want to play. They're still in school. What is there to do? So trying to build that unity for us to be able to support and help each other out. So that's one of my main key points starting this January/September. I treat September as my January, of course, because we're starting school. There's a comment that says, parents, if you want to cut costs, help with getting sponsors and fundraising. Yes, so that's another one I have here, sponsorship and fundraising. How do you go about it? And if anybody has any tips on that, there's a lot of different organizations that need support in doing that. There's a lot of individual managers that already been doing it. At what point, what type of fundraising can be done? Sometimes in the end, it's money coming out of the parents' pocket to do these fundraising, because if you have 2 or 3 kids in different sports and every club is doing fundraising, you can only ask the same family member so many times. Right? So what are other unique ways that we can come up with fundraising to be able to offset the cost that's coming out of our pocket to service it? Another thing with regards to the money is we have to think diligently about what it is that we're paying for. Are we just paying, when you're paying your fees, are you thinking that, oh my God, this coach is making so much money off me, this club is so expensive, versus, you know, the experience that my child is getting, the knowledge that they're getting, the team building they're getting, they get that from school, but they also get that from being in a competitive sports world. So it's a give and take. You know, I can't give you 500 every week, but I also don't want my child to feel left out. So it's a give and take, and things that we have to be aware of when it comes to finance. It's very tricky, it's very personal, but the cost benefit weighs and is different per family. So that's something I'm also going to be sharing a lot of information on to make sure that as we progress, we're all on the same page, or if not the same page, at least have some understanding of it. Oliver from Mindful Parenting says that, how can I use my expertise to help clubs to fundraise? Great point. I'm willing to help while educate parents. That's my gifts to clubs and parents. Yes, and you do that really well. So most of the parents, especially if you're working parents, even if you're stay-at-home parents, we all have our own individual talents that we've gained by getting to this level. Being a parent alone is a talent, honestly, because there's so much aspect to it. So if your child is in a particular club, you know, once they make it, ask the coach, ask the owners, ask the manager, hey, this is what I can provide. This is a service I do. Is this something I can do to help to make the club going? Offer it, wait for the response, and say, some will say thanks, but no thanks. Some will say come along. Some will say pause for a bit. We'll call you when we need it. So, but just, you know, be aware that if you're really going to be on that team, try to make it a unity. That's what I'm trying to say. Depending on what the services are. If you are in finances and you do life insurance, maybe you can offer it something to the members of your club. If you do physiotherapy or you work in a pharmacy, you can offer everybody a free Band-Aid or something during tournament, or bring ice packs or something, anything like to help it make more unity and unified during the season. So that's just so many different ways that we can do that, exactly as Oliver says. We are building a village that is going to set a generational path for our kids to continue, so that we don't go back and say, when I was your days, when I was back in my days, you know. So that's what I'm trying to do, and hopefully the information that I do share and continue will be sharing is helpful. By any means, you know, if there's anything I share you disagree, you don't have to even send it privately to me. You can literally post it or comment on it. I'm in no way offended by it. I mean, I'm open to all feedbacks that everybody shares. Oh my God, so many different people are joining now. They're coming here. Thank you guys for joining. So I'm just going to do a quick recap again for those that are joining in last minute. I'm coming here to give a heads up or a preview of the Baller Mom feature series. I'm going into season 5. High five. I keep saying that. I'm air fiving myself here, okay? I have really good guests coming up that's going to be sharing their stories, their journey, what they do that can definitely continue to help us be able to not be a better parent, because everybody's a good parent. It's not about how to parent or how to be a different type of parent, but how to continue doing it so that as your child is in sports and school is starting, we can combine the two. And these clubs, who the owners are, what they're doing, and how they're continue to build this community for us both in sports, whether it be basketball or soccer. Another point I'll be doing is expanding on the Let's Talk About discussions with various different types of topics that I've had so many different conversations with different people, and I think it's best that we keep it open and build a unity and a community. I'm also trying to find a way where those who are in early stage, middle stage, and somewhat exiting stage can combine in a way to share meaningful knowledge to help each other. Because a lot of us and many people feel they're alone at times, that they're on this journey, and I don't want anybody to ever feel that you're alone on this journey. Whether your child is still in house league, whether your child hasn't found a club that they like yet, whether your child was in a team that you were not comfortable, whether your child's in a team that they want to leave but you want to leave, whatever it is, pros and cons, how to share that information. Maybe your child had some issues connecting with teammates, how you went about to break that ice or how you can help them out, how you communicate with your coaches to get to where you are with your child, different things. And I'm not here to bash any one particular club, because every club has its green grass and brown grass and pros and cons, and you go according to what fits your family structure. That's my key point here. You go according to what fits your family structure. What works for you works for your child. Specifically location where they practice, the tournaments they play in, how often they practice, what their fees are, and the role that your child is expected to play on the team. So once you understand those, that makes it a lot easier to have a really good season coming in. So that is my goal for everybody here. Like, let's try to build a good unity, that when we are out there, it's not just us, but for our kids, making sure that they're doing exactly what they want. Hi, Michael. Nice meeting you again yesterday. Again, one thing I also will be doing is try to go to as many different tournaments as possible. Time permitted. I'm a parent first. I work full time, and I'm doing this as a passion. So I may not always be everywhere where everybody wants, but if there's something that is, needed to be, and I am there, I will definitely be there and get as much information to share with you guys. I do have a survey that I put on my link, and it's about 10 questions just to get an understanding of how your summer was, what you're looking forward to, some of the things I've shared, your feedback, and overall feel towards the Baller Mom Canada page, account, profile, everything that I share. I ask that you be honest. Give me any feedback, because like I said, I'm starting September as my January, and I want to make sure that we start off this new year really well, unity. And my page is growing, and I know there's so many different people that come and go, and I just thought it's easier if I come in and put a face to it. And the next time you see my face, I will actually be doing more interview conversation with individuals. I'm trying not to be making more about me, but about the information that we need to continue and grow this unity that I'm trying to build here. Any other comments before I log off, because it's very quick. It's and by any means, if anybody wants to put your face on live with me, go ahead. That's fine with me too. If there's questions you want to send to me afterwards, go ahead. I will repost the link to the survey, and I will leave it open for all of this month to get the feedback, because that will help me be able to understand the service that I'm providing, if it's meeting the needs, or maybe it's not. Maybe I talk too much, maybe I don't talk too much, maybe I don't provide enough information, maybe it's not valid. Whatever it is, just a good feedback. Sometimes it's good to pause and reflect and get that connection from the people that I'm supposed to be helping out as well. I think that's pretty much it. So yes, to recap, goodbye sadly to summer, but hello fall. Nice and warm. It's gonna be nice and very nice color out there. I'm going to continue more with Let's Talk About topics. There's going to be more Baller Mom features coming up, starting season 5, starting this month, September 14th. So mark that date. There's going to be more guides and tips coming in on different things to help us. And some of them will be downloadable. Okay, I'm back. So some of them will be downloadable. Some of them I can send it by email. Some of them I can send you in any way that you want to be able to, as a guide for you. And one of them will be the budgeting side of it, and one will be the tips and guides aspect of it. And then sponsorship. I've been doing this since 2018. And this is something that I've been doing just, on my own, because I saw a need and I jumped on it, and hopefully it's supported. So if there's anybody here that knows any organizations, any companies are looking to, work with me and provide additional support so I can continue to provide this service to the community, please let me know. I'm more than willing to have a talk with them and see what we can do, which will allow me to be able to get to one of my final goals, is to be able to give back to you guys, whether it be financially or any other way possible. So if there's anybody here that have that connect or link or anything like that, I'm open to it. Let me know. It doesn't stop me from doing this, from my passion, from my heart that I do on a daily basis. But yeah, I am open for that, and I will put it out there. So let's continue to support, cheer, and definitely unite all together. And I hope everybody had a really good upcoming long weekend here. Labor Day, I think, is both across US and Canada. So we're all gonna have a long weekend. I'm gonna be off. For tomorrow, I'll be posting a lot more of the tryouts coming in. So if you have any tryout that you want me to share, please send it over. I'll be bombarding all of our pages to make sure it's out there. Mark your dates, locations, prices, age group, all of that. And as always, be there early because the lineups are getting long, which means the world of basketball is growing so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'll be sharing a lot of those to the pages, and then I'll be off for a while until we start school. And then for the athletes that watch or be listening to it later, all the best for the new school year. Go into your new grade with confidence. Go into your new grade. Don't give up. Don't focus just on the sports. Make sure that you're a student first, your athlete second. Get your homework done before you go to practice. Get your assignment in on time. These are things I'm talking as a parent because I am a parent, and I'm sure your parents are going to be telling you the same thing too. But get those done. And if your coaches are not asking you, show them. Take that leadership and say, Coach, I'm going to finish my assignment before I can come in. I can't come into practice. If they're a good coach, they will understand. If they're a good club, they will understand. They'll do everything they can support you. But watch out, the one that says you missed 2 or 3 practices, you cannot play, and those 2 or 3 practices was due to school, caution. If that's the case, talk to your parents about it. Make sure that you reassess your agreement before you sign it. Make sure that these understandings are set in place because, after all, we are trying to raise students first, then athletes. Everything comes after. You're a student first, athlete second. Hi, Mr. Approved. So I'm finishing up because I didn't want to talk too long. I got 2 minutes mark here, and I value everybody's time. It's 10 o'clock on a Thursday, almost 10 o'clock on a Thursday evening, 1st of September. Wishing everybody a really happy new month. Hopefully, summer was great. Summer didn't cost much, but the next season, I know it's going to cost a lot. I can sense it. It's ridiculous. So brace yourself, people. But the benefit that comes of it is where you need to weigh it out. Make sure it's understandable. Make sure it's not as pushing them, but they're also pushing themselves. And you have a unity that is supporting you. And if anybody have any questions or concerns outside of it, let me know. Just so whatever you share with me stays with me. I don't broadcast it. I don't share anything personal with anybody because I value your time and I trust that it's fully respected in any way, case, or form. I don't pick one team over the other. I don't pick one coach over the other. I may have my personal preferences, but I'm not going to be sharing that because everybody's experience and unique is different. So definitely have a really good long weekend. It's a Labor Day weekend, which means I'm going to take time off from work. And I'm going to rest. I'm going to enjoy with the family again. I hope everybody does that. And let's make the rest of this month as good as we can. And as we continue to support, cheer, and unite. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to repost this. And those who missed it can watch later. And again, you can continue to always connect back to me anytime that you want, whether through DM or email. I'm always available. So thank you. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.